Your name is Smriti Subhadarshan Sahu. Can you tell
Yes,
me
sir.
what is exactly the meaning of your name, Smriti and Subhadarshan? What is the meaning?
Sir, Smriti means memory, and
Yeah,
Subhadarshan means lucky.
Subhadarshan means lucky
Lucky.
or good looking.
Lucky to see. Good looking.
Good looking. So you are handsome.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
So
I believe.
do you have a good memory? Do you have electronic memory like computer and laptop? Do you feel so?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I think.
Okay, very good. Okay, can you tell me what are your optionals in OS exam?
Sir, sociology and public administration.
Public administration. On which day you are facing the interview board of OPSC?
Sir, 29th.
29th. Okay. Okay. So sociology is your optional. Okay.
Yes,
Subhadarshan, can you tell me what is your strength and what is your weakness of your personality?
sir. Talking about my strengths, sir. I am a quick learner. When I see thing happening around me, and I found that something relevant to me, then I try to acquire those things and try to implement those things into in my daily lifestyle. Second one is, sir, I'm hardworking. I have patience, and I'm a quick decision maker also. And
Okay.
talking about my weakness,
Please
sir,
speak loud.
talk,
Please speak a bit loud or increase the volume of
sir,
your
volume is
device.
full, sir.
Okay, okay.
Volume is full, sir.
Okay, okay. Then you speak a bit loud.
Sir, talking my weakness, sir. I believe, sir, I need to work upon my emotional intelligence because at time I swear to the things which touches to my heart. So I think, sir, it affects my balanced judgment. So I need to work upon it, sir.
Yeah. Okay, Smriti, just look at me. Instead of looking down, look at the board. Huh? Look at me
Yes, sir.
face to face. Okay, Smriti, as you told us that you are a quick learner, there was a
Yes,
great yogi in India who was living in America, who was also
yes,
having a very good memory power, and he was one of having extraordinary quick learning ability. Okay, do you know the name of the saint having quick extraordinary learning ability? Living in
sir.
America, an Indian saint, a yogi.
Sir, also,
Sorry,
sir, also.
Osho. What is the name, original name of Osho?
Sir, sir, I
He
don't
was
know,
a
sir.
professor. He was a professor in an
Yes, sir.
university in Madhya Pradesh. You know his original name,
Yes,
Professor Rajneesh. Professor Rajneesh. Okay.
Sir Rajnish.
Okay. What
Okay,
is
sir.
his view? What is his view on life?
Sir,
Life is a celebration. Life is a celebration. Enjoy.
life is a thing of joy and celebration.
Celebration. Enjoy your life. Okay. Okay. Very good. Okay, Smriti, can you tell me in which subject you have done your graduation?
Sir, I am a graduate civil. Sir, I am a graduate civil engineer, sir.
Civil engineering. You have done degree in civil engineering, but opted
Yes, sir.
sociology
Yes.
in OS exam. Why?
Sir, I feel that I have learned civil engineering and I have also proficiency in that. So it will help me. But civil service gave me a platform which where I can learn new things. Therefore, sir, I opted sociology and public administration as my optional. And these subjects are core subject in administration, which will help me not only to clear this exam but also in rest of my profession.
Please look at my face. Look face to face instead of looking down. Look at me. Yeah. Okay. Very good. Yeah. So, how do you think public administration will help you to become an effective and efficient administrator in Odisha?
Sir, public administration is a core subject in administration, sir. And in public administration, it is the actional part of government. And as a public administration student, I have learned how effectively the governance system will work. And there are subjects like to reduce corruption, to install good governance, and to install e-governance also, sir. So these things, I believe, sir, this will help me in undertaking administration activity in Odisha.
Okay, public administration will help you in matter of increasing the pace of administration. And you know, in government of Odisha, a department has been floated. The name of the department is called 5T department. Can you tell me what are the five? What are the five?
Sir, IT stands for, sir, timeliness, teamwork, technology, transparency, which ultimately lead to transformation of.
These are the four. Then what is the fifth one?
Fifth one is, sir, which will lead to transformation of administration. Sir.
Okay, very good. What do you mean by transformation?
Transformation, sir, transformation means complete structural and functional transformation of administration.
Okay,
where,
okay, very good. Structural and functional change is called administration, as you told. Okay, Smriti, you are a student of sociology. Can you tell me the basic difference between structure and function? Basic difference. Yeah.
Structure means the physiology of social organization or social institutions, sir.
Very
function
good.
means what function, and what function means what function they are undertaking. For example, Durkheim was a functional sociologist. He talked about how the traditional society will be converted into a modern society, and how the division of labor in traditional society is changing in modern society. So these are some functions. Structure means physiology, sir, basically.
Okay, very good, Smriti. As you took the name of Durkheim, we want to know a particular question, a particular answer by putting a question to you related to Durkheim. You know, Durkheim was the first professor of sociology all over the world. And Durkheim is called the grandfather of sociology. Why? Why Durkheim is called the grandfather of sociology?
Before Durkheim, there were fighting between the psychologists and sociologists to prove sociology as a distinct discipline, sir. In this, various psychologists like Gabriel Trade, John Stuart Mill, they thought that sociology is not an independent discipline, and it is a psychological thing. Durkheim was the first one who proved that sociology is a different discipline other than psychology, sir. So, through his suicide theory, the extreme phenomena of suicide, he proved, sir, it is not a psychological phenomena, and he proved that it is a social phenomena. So, sir, therefore, Durkheim is called as the grandfather of sociology.
Then why Auguste Comte is called father? Why Auguste Comte is called father of sociology? Durkheim is grandfather. Auguste Comte is father. Irony of sociology is that of young grandfather was younger to father, because Comte was but basically senior to Durkheim, and Durkheim was junior to Comte. So how then Durkheim is regarded as grandfather of sociology?
Auguste Comte basically postulated the positivism theory, and he found the evolution of sociology, evolution of human origin in different stages, sir. And he introduced a scientific phenomena to study sociological activity. Therefore, he was called as the father of sociology. And he coined first time the name sociology also.
Okay, very good. In which book he coined the concept sociology? Name of the book? Sorry?
Positivistic philosophy, sir.
What was the previous name of positive philosophy? What is the previous name of sociology? Sorry, sociology. First he gave a name to sociology. Then he gave second time the name it's sociology. You know it?
psychology.
No.
Thing, sir.
I am just giving you hints. In 1839, Auguste Comte coined the concept sociology. But the previous year, that is 1838, he used another concept for sociology. Can you tell me the concept he used for sociology?
Social philosophy, social morphology, like that, I am not able to recall.
Yeah, just look at our face. Okay, you are a good student. Okay, that is social physics. Remember it, social physics. Yeah. Okay, very good. Smriti Subhadarsan, you told that Durkheim in his book, that is Lee Suicide, discussed about the methods of sociology and also the types of sociology. As you know it, today in India, as well as Odisha, the rate of suicide among the farmers is growing at an accelerated pace, at an alarming pace. In which category of suicide can you put farmer suicide in Odisha and India, keeping in mind the framework of the 4 types of suicide given by Professor Durkheim?
Sir, I think it's anomic suicide, sir.
Why? Why it is anomic? You are correct. You are correct. But why?
Anomy is a thing. Durkheim in his theory, he told that in a division of labor theory, he told that when traditional society is advancing towards a modern society, then in between a phase there is a phase called transition, sir. And in transition there is lawlessness, there is rulelessness, and awareness between the people about the law is less. So, sir, in that situation, Durkheim told it is a phase of transition, and this phase also not permanent. In Odisha and in general in India, sir, many farm laws are there. For example, Government of India has taken many schemes. For example, PM Kisan Yojana, Government of Odisha also Kaliya Yojana, and many things are there, sir. But awareness between the farmer is quite less. As Economic Survey 2018 chapter on agricultural development stated that, sir, 41% farmer have not heard a term called as MSP. So there are, sir, multiple mechanism of Government of India, but for awareness among the farmer is less. And secondly, sir, in Odisha there are many small and marginal farmers, and they are not the beneficiary of the program which are sponsoring by Government of India and Government of Odisha also, sir. So I think, sir, it is in anomic form of suicide.
Okay, your explanation part is not correct, but obviously your answer is correct. I will rectify it later. Okay, once the interview is over, Smriti. Smriti, can you tell me from which engineering college you have been passed with civil engineering?
Gita Bhubaneswar, Gandhi Institute for Technological Administration.
Okay, Gandhi. Okay, what is Gandhism? What is Gandhism?
Gandhism, Gandhi believed in non-violence, tolerance. His view towards Sarvodharma Samabhava, that is equal respect for all religion, and also trusteeship, and his view of pluralism, cultural pluralism in society, and his ideas also imbibed in the directive principle of state policy. So, sir, these principles of Gandhism helped not only in the freedom struggle, but also in the upcoming generations.
Okay, very good, Smriti. Can you tell me the basic difference between Gandhism and Marxism?
Sir, both Gandhi and Marx, sir, talked about socialism, but Gandhi forwarded a non-violent form of socialism, whereas Marx formulated a violent form of socialism. Second thing is Gandhi talked about Marx was a democrat socialist, sir, because he first in his theory of historical materialism or class struggle, he first talked about how the working class or the labor class, they snatch away the property of ruling class and effective distribution of property. So first democracy come, after that there will be socialism in the society. But Gandhi, sir, postulated a theory where voluntary contribution of ruling class to the working class. So first, first socialism
Okay,
is
very good. Okay, very good, Smriti. Uh, S- Smriti, you are a student of engineering. You know, in Odisha there is one NIT in Rourkela. As of now, also NIT Rourkela is also the number one technical institute in Odisha. But recent report was published in different newspapers, national newspapers across the country, that the quality of NIT Raulkela is degrading at the national level. What are the causes behind it? Quality of teaching of NIT Raulkela at the national level, though it's in Odisha, it's number one, but the quality of NIT Raulkela is degrading. What are the reasons behind it?
NIT are the premier institute of India, and NIT Rourkela is the most prestigious and most old and also good institute, sir. But as the newspaper report suggested that the quality of teaching in NIT Rourkela is quite degrading right now. That's why,
Only
sir,
quality of
I
teaching is
believe that
degrading. Only quality of teaching is degrading, or there is some lack of infrastructure, both physical and socio-cultural infrastructure is lacking there in NIT Rourkela.
I'm not aware.
Look at our face. Yeah, okay, right. So can you answer this question or not? Okay, it's all right. Okay, Smriti, can you tell me the basic difference between fertility and fecundity? Fertility and fecundity.
Fertility is the, sir, increased number of child that a woman can bear.
Hmm.
And
What is
second one is,
fecundity?
sir,
What is fecundity? Yeah, speak loudly. No idea? Do you have idea now? Okay. Okay, Smriti, you are a good student. Okay, don't feel nervous. Okay, you see, Smriti, government of Odisha has taken a historic decision in the matter of making reservation in the technical and the medical institution, particularly for purpose of admission for the students pursuing their schooling in government-run school. How do you think this decision of government of Odisha would help in upgrading the quality of teaching in government school?
sir, as of now, the government colleges are very good in Odisha, and people consider these are very prestigious, and the value of government colleges are more, sir. But as we consider the schools, many parents prefer their children to study in private school. But as the government of Odisha making such reservation policy, then the quality and the prestige of private school, government schools are definitely going to increase. And as in recent newspaper, there is a report that in Delhi government, people from the private school they are moving towards the government school as the teaching quality and the other infrastructure the Delhi government is continuously upgrading. So in this regard, sir, I think it is a very revolutionary step. It will
No,
also definitely going to help.
Smriti, you could not understand the basic question asked to you. We wanted to know from you how this decision of government would help in upgrading and uplifting the quality of education in government school, because reservation is given for government school students in matter of admission in medical colleges and engineering colleges. How it will contribute for upgrading and uplifting the quality of education in government school? That is our fundamental query.
It will increase the competency of government school as presently the government schools are not competitive with private school. and it will also help to build infrastructure project, as more students are now interested to move towards a government school. It will also increase the quality of teacher and recruitment of teacher. These things are, I think, this thing will help to upgrade the government school.
Okay, Smriti, what is G15 country? G15 country.
G15 country is a grouping of 15 countries where India, sir, is a member.
Is India a
I am
member
not.
in it or not? Is India a member in it or not? Speak loudly, Smriti.
I'm not able to recall it.
Okay, no idea. Okay, okay. What is NAM? Non-aligned movement. What is that?
Sir, non-aligned movement was pursued by our first Prime Minister Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru when India got independence. Then there was a Cold War period where the world was divided into bipolar world. That is Soviet Rus and United States. As India got independence very recently at that time, so India pursued that policy to non-align with any superpower and pursue and keep equal distance with those superpowers.
Okay. What do you mean by globalization?
Globalization is the process of integration and interdependence of Indian economy with the global economy. So there will be more interboundary movement of goods, culture, as well as people will be there. So there is more integration between economic, political, and socio-cultural sphere of societies.
Okay, very good. What do you mean by feminization of agriculture? Feminization of agriculture.
Feminization of agriculture means it is the concept where male are migrating to the urban area for work, and as a result of which women are engaging in agricultural activity. So the percentage of women in agricultural activity are increasing. This is called as feminization of agriculture.
Okay, very good, Smriti. What do you mean by India's missing male? India's missing male. I'm repeating.
Please, sir.
I'm repeating the question again, Smriti, for you. India's missing male. Male people are missing in India. What is that? India's missing male, the phrase. Okay, okay, Smriti. What are the factors responsible for increasing violence against women in our country? Factors responsible for increasing violence against women in our country.
Sir, first one is the patriarchal mindset of the people that they consider that they are superior than the females. Second one is the cultural factor, the Manusmriti and many other cultural texts also, sir, legitimizing the inferiority of women.
Okay.
Third one is, sir, in Vedic society, particularly in later Vedic society, which allowed the women to come to the mainstream. Fourth one, these things.
No, you are telling all factors related to past India. You are telling all factors related to past India, but in present India, there are certain bottlenecks, there are certain loopholes for which rate of crime against women, rate of violence against women is increasing. So just tell us some reasons connecting it to present India.
Sir, first one is our Sarpanchpati concept, which is government of India.
Can you repeat?
Sarpanchpati, sir. Sarpanchpati.
Sarpanchpati. Okay, very good. Yeah.
Sarpanchpati, government of India.
Yeah, we got it. No need of explanation. Tell me other factors. Are there sufficient number of female police in police department? Are there sufficient number of female police?
No, sir, no, not.
That is another factor. Do you think that while a girl is harassed or raped, many people they criticize her dress code, means they justify the dress code of a girl in matter of rape and harassment? Does not it contribute towards increasing violence against women? Okay, lots of factors are there.
Economic also there, sir.
Yeah.
Okay. Economic also there. Pink collar occupation is there, where women are only engaged in those activities which need care or which need sobriety in the society. But
okay, very good.
Power
you know so many things. You know so many things, but keeping mum, not pointing your fingers towards all these points. Okay, Smriti, I'm asking you the last question. You know, in 2015, Allahabad High Court gave a historic judgment where it categorically pronounced that henceforward, all the government school, all the government employees will be forced to enroll their children in government school. I'm repeating the judgment of Allahabad High Court in 2015. Henceforward, all government employees will be forced to enroll their children in government school. What are the merits and demerits of this judgment of Allahabad High Court?
Sir, first of all, as a democratic society, as a democratic nation, everybody has a right to choose their children where to study and where to read. Sir.
Yeah.
So, sir, forcing these students to study in particularly government school, I think, sir, this is not correct, sir.
Okay, that is limitation. What is the positive aspect of the judgment?
Positive aspect of the judgment, sir, it is I think, sir, the government is spending a lot more to increase the education, sir. So when students will move to the government sector, then there will be infrastructure development in the government school, and there will be competency in the government school, sir. But at the same time, government need to take care of the challenges which are with the government schools are facing. Lack of infrastructure and teachers training should be expedited, and other facilities, for example, girls toilet or other playground should be there, and sufficient number of teachers should be there to teach the students. These are the factors that I.
Okay, very good, Smriti. You are a very studious student. You have accumulated lots of information, but certain mistakes are there in your approach of facing the board. Okay, you have learned a lot, but some fundamental mistakes are there in matter of facing the board. Once this interview is over, you just send a message to the mention the WhatsApp number, mentioning your name. I will get connected with you later. Okay, but you perform very well. Wish you all the best.